Okay, so here we are. We are going to start in Virasana. So for those of us who don't have super open hips and cannot sit on the ground, you want to have some support, some solid support like a brick. And then we take the happy strap and place it around the outsides of the legs, like so. And then we tighten the strap. Now take your knees apart. So take the blanket away, Walter. Yes. So if you're going to have a blanket, you would have a blanket like so, right? So that you were completely, properly on the blanket, not halfway on, halfway off. So you're more than welcome to be on a blanket. Okay, and now start taking the outer thighs away from each other. And let's place the bolster on top of the legs. Place the bolster on top of the thighs. Take the skin from the buttocks, pull the skin away from the sits bones. Good. Stacking the shoulders above the hips, lower ribs in, lift the armpit chest, lift the sternum in the front and in the back ribs. So feel the sense of the torso getting tall and then pressing down on top of your thighs, lift the belly up, drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Good. Let's take the hands behind the lower back, interlace your palms, bring your thumbs together. Good. And then start to take the thumbs out, away from the sacrum. Lifting through the armpit chest, pulling the thighs away from each other. See if you can take your hands a little further away, squeeze the inner shoulders, lifting through that armpit chest and sternum in the front, back ribs in the back. Good. Let's release, interlace the palms, reach the palms up. Good. See if you can reach up with the index knuckle. Take the baby fingers down and back, down and back. Straighten your arms. Take those thighs apart. Lift the belly, looking ridiculously happy, which means to lift the corner of the smiley face up. Sit tall, sit tall, sit tall, lifting up through the index. Open your fingers, open your palms. Good. Let's take the bolster off to the side for a moment. Good. So pull those thighs apart. Let's take the right hand down, reach the left arm up and over. So pull those thighs away from each other. Dropping the left sits bone down. See if you can tuck that left sits bone in and under, lift through the belly. Breathe deeply, full body breath. Good. Let's slowly come up through center, sitting tall. Take the left hand down, right hand up and overhead. Tuck your right sits bone in and under, so drop that right sits bone down. Feel that right sits bone connect with the block. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Stretch. Take that hand a little further. Good job. Good. Let's slowly come back up. Let's remove the strap. Just put it off to the side. And let's take the skin of the shin and just pull the skin forward. And then pressing down through the top of the right thigh, lift the thigh up into the hands. So lift your thigh up into the hands. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. Press that thigh down and then lift up through the femur bone. So tucking that right sits bone in and under, lifting the thigh up into the hands. Let's change sides. Hard, isn't it? Harder than it looks, right? So press that thigh down and then lift the thigh up. So there should be an actual little bit of space as you lift the thigh up into the hands. Breathing deeply, full body breaths. So feel a sense of scooping that left sits bone in and under, tucking that left sits bone as you lift the thigh into the hands. Good. Let's go again to that other side again. So this time try and have a couple of centimeters. Lift that thigh. Lift that thigh. That's it. Nice. Tuck, tuck, tuck. So this is really good for the pelvic floor. You can feel something. And in most of the workshops I attend, we either start in Virasana or Baddha Konasana with the feet together in the butterfly position. Let's release and change sides. One more time, lift the leg a little bit so that there's actually space underneath the back of that left shin. Breathing deeply. So if you were at home doing Virasana, you would linger in this type of pose for, a good 20, 30 minutes. If you watch TV, this would be a good position to be in. Okay, let's release. Let's take the hands forward. Tuck the toes in and under, and we're lifting up into downward dog. Now let's take the block between the inner thighs, and now imagine spitting that block out the back end. So the toes turn slightly in, and then we roll those inner ankles out, pressing hard through the outer heels, and then the inner thighs draw back to create that space behind the lower back. So spit that block out. Pressing down through the balls of the feet, take those outer heels down as you roll your inner ankles out. Shoulders drop down away from the ears, and then roll the creases of the inner elbows up towards the sky, externally rotating the shoulders out. Breathe deeply here, full body breaths. Lift those kneecaps up to the upper thighs. Good job. Let's come forward into the plank position. So again, spit that block out. Spit that block out, the back end. Squeeze the block with your inner thighs. It will help a lot to allow you to stay in the pose longer. So spit the block out, reach the heart, the creases forward, so lift your head. There we go, straighten your arms, spread your fingers, spread your hands, nice. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Tuck your pelvis in and under, feeling your sits bones draw to your heels. Good job, you guys. So we're using all of the core. Take a break if you need to. Okay, I'll tell you what. Drop your knees down. Let's remove the block. And again, coming into that table position, that's tuck the tailbone, drop your head, lift your belly. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Lift your belly up. Sits bones draw down towards the knees. Let's move from this spinal flexion as we roll one vertebrae at a time, dropping the shoulders down. Let's come into our spinal extension, widening the backs of your thighs. Lift your lower ribs up and in. Good, lift the belly up. So we want to support the lower back in this spinal extension by lifting the lower ribs and belly up and in. Good. Let's move through the spinal waves to the rhythm of our own breath here. Drop your head down, lift your belly, pause. Moving to the rhythm of your own breath. Trying to take that moment to pause in between each spinal wave. Make it a nice fluid motion. Feel each moment connect to the next. So this simple movement releases the nerves. It creates space between the vertebrae. It brings moisture back into the spine. Let's all come into spinal flexion. And one more time, we're coming into downward dog. That's tuck the toes, lead with the hips. And try to roll those inner ankles out again. Press hard through the outer heel. Lift your hips up, up, up. Shoulders down away from the ears. So really drop those shoulders down. Create some space between the sides of the neck, from the ear to the shoulder. Lift your kneecaps towards your upper thighs. Lift your hips up, up, up. Let's lift the right leg straight up. Bend the knee. Drop the heel to the buttocks as you lift that knee. Up, up, up to the sky. Press the left heel down. Lift that left kneecap up towards the upper thigh. Breathe deeply. Full body breath. Good. Let's bring that right thigh forward as you lift the thigh up. Stepping the foot back. That's one more time. Come into downward dog. Drop your heels. Lift the left leg. Bend the knee. Heel to the buttocks. Lift that left knee up towards the sky. Lift it up. Take the heel to the buttocks. And then press that right heel down. Lift the kneecap up. Let's take that left thigh forward and lift. Good. Step the left foot back. Good job, you guys. Drop your knees down. So we're coming into Upavista Konasana. If you think that you need a little bit of support, needing some height underneath your buttocks because you're tight, that's a wise decision. The question is, blanket or bolster? A little bit of height or a lot of height or no height? Or no height. So we take the feet nice and wide. And then we're going to add a new component. We're going to take the strap around the outsides of the feet. Now you want to be able to create some resistance with your strap. See, this strap is tight. That's what you want. You want to have a sense of being able to pull your legs apart. And then you're going to take that bolster on top of your thighs. Oh yeah, okay. Good. Perfect.
How big? More?
Pardon me?
How?
That's enough. So can you make your feet taunt? You want it taunt. Can you take your legs further apart? That's all right for now. Take the bolster now. Good. And we're lifting up. So instead of having your toes turning out like the dead cowboy, we want to have the toes turning in and the heels leading. Yes. And then we press the bolster down, exactly, and lift up with the belly. So you could take that strap and make it wider. So the bolster helps to weigh the thighs down and ground the femur bones, which means to tighten those thighs around the bones. See if you can straighten your legs. You got it. Now lift your belly. Can you feel that? Now, my dear, because we want to make sure that everything's nicely aligned, so you're going to keep a nice eye on your joints. Yes, exactly. Very nice. We don't want to use the knees. Exactly. Perfect. So this is challenging, isn't it? Yes. Okay, let's focus now. So no more fidgeting. My yoga teacher says teachers are notorious for sort of fidgeting, constantly tweaking. But we need to stay still and start to linger with the breath. See if you can make your legs longer and longer. Pulling your feet apart, creating a resistance with the strap. Lift the belly, lift the armpit chest. Lift the sternum, lift the back ribs. And then look ridiculously happy. So I have heard from one of my teachers that in Pune, India, where the Iyengar Institute is, that women that are having fertility issues are told to sit in this pose because it seems to have a very positive impact on the pelvic floor. So I always say, if you're in those years and you're looking to conceive and you watch TV, lean against your couch with your legs apart. That's a good way to spend your time. But it's not very relaxing, is it? So lift the belly, make those legs longer and longer. That's it. So the purpose of the strap is to show you how important the work of the legs are. Okay, so let's move the bolster off to the side. And just take your strap apart. I don't want to torture you. And let's see if we can take the hands forward now. Take your hands forward. Reach your heels, so flex your feet. That a girl. Yes, good. Yes, exactly. If you want to, whatever you need to do. But we're trying to lift up and forward. Lift up and forward. Reach the nose forward. Work those legs. Work your legs. Flex your feet. Flex your feet. No dead cowboy. So try to, if you need to, shorten the stance, but try to have some length in the instep of those inner ankles so that the toes are not turning out. Yes. Okay, here we are. Let's walk the hands over to the left. Take the left foot. Take a strap if you need one. But push out through the right heel. Drop that right sits bone and tuck it in and under as you lift the belly, the armpit chest. Breathe deeply. So these long holds have tremendous value. So as we move from this very muscular action and linger, it becomes something organic in nature where we're penetrating the organs. And since the organs don't get a lot of love, breathe deeply, breathe deeply. Refresh your organs with the breath. Make that right leg longer and longer. Make it longer. Make the right leg longer. Let's release and take your hands over to the other side. Exactly. You're becoming an Iyengar yoga student. So these tools help us, not as a handicap, but they help us go deeper into the pose. Isn't that right, Walter? Yeah. So think of it as your own personal assistant, these brilliant tools. The yoga mat wasn't even a tool that we used until, I believe, somewhere in the 50s. So push out through that left heel, tuck the left sits bone in and under, drop that left thigh down. Breathe deeply, full body breath. Good. Let's release. Just take your hands and lift your legs up, and we're going to straighten the legs now. And just take your hands to your feet. So this is a bit of a tricky one. Maybe we'll do a little warm-up first. Okay, good. So again, think about lifting up, lifting the chest forward. Pressing the backs of those thighs down, lengthening the legs, making those legs longer and longer. Now, I haven't done this in a long time. So, see if you can take your middle and index finger around the big toes. Just hang with me here, all right? And all we're doing is lifting the leg and bending the knee. So if you cannot grab, if you can't reach, then you bend the knee, and then lift, right? Yes, take the hand. That's right, because you can feel it in here. So you're drawing the leg back. It's like the bow and arrow. So lift the knee, honey, lift the knee up. There we go, and then drag it back as you hang on to this. There we go. Yes, draw that leg back. Okay. So try not to collapse on the ankle. Yeah, try and draw the outer foot with the instep of the foot. There we go. And then let's put that left foot down and reach the left arm forward. Good. Yes, good job. So technically, there should be a hand space because we are scooching in and around. Exactly. That's the amount of space. There we go. Draw that knee in. Give your heart a little love, a little massage on the left side. I know, it all looks so easy, doesn't it? Yes, you got it. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. So lifting up. Let's release the leg. Take your hands around the thigh and squeeze the thigh, lift tall. Flex the foot and then lift the leg. Good, nicely done. So you can really challenge yourself. I'm not suggesting you do this, but you can point and flex, and point and flex. Good. Let's release. Take the left arm back as we look over the left shoulder, lift tall. So you can take either the arm like so or Use your hand, but lift tall. So it's an axle twist. Flexing that right foot. Lift tall, lift tall. Good job. So one more time, take that left arm round. And this is for us poor beginners. Some of us are very flexible. And then that's when you would start to take that arm. And you can bind if you like or not. So take your hands together in the back. Yes, very nice. Now sit tall. Good, beautiful. So wherever you are, it doesn't matter. As long as you're getting into that left side and breathing, that's what activates the twist, is the breath. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe deeply. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the journey. You'll see that the body will soften to receive the breath just by thinking, oh, this is so enjoyable. It becomes a whole new experience just by changing your thought patterns. You can rewrite the brain. Good job. Let's release. So straighten that left leg. Let's slide the hands down for a moment. So press the backs of those thighs down, lift up, and then take your middle and index finger around your big toes. Here we go, you ready? Let's lift the right leg and then draw the knee back. Oh! That's it. Go, go, go. Nicely done. Now the important part, well, that's it. Good job. So it's this bow and arrow, and you can see there's lots going on here, right? Yeah. This is Ramanan Patel. Draw that thigh back. Oh, lift up. Good job. Let's take the leg forward. Oh. To the floor, that's it. And then reach the right arm to the left foot. Oh my gosh. So remember, you want to have a little bit of space here. A handprint is typically a good amount of space. Yes, exactly. So it doesn't matter where you are, and understand that you could take 5 people that are the same height, and their shins, their thighs, their torso, everything, the arms are all different. So binding is really something more about creating a nice circulatory area under this, because we're on the right side, the liver, the spleen, the pancreas are getting a nice massage in here, and that's really the value in the pose. So breathe deeply here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Enjoy the journey of the breath. Good. Let's take the hands around the shin and lift tall. Sit nice and tall. And let's lift the leg. Good. Lifting the leg. Sit tall. And then point and flex. This is an option. Good, and release the leg down, and we're just coming into the twist. So we take the right arm back, and we can either bring the left arm inside or keep it here like so as we gaze over that right shoulder. Try to keep your chin above the sternum. So we don't want to overstretch the neck. This is an axle twist, and it should start at the very first step and then lift up into extension as we gaze to the right. So the importance is that we're working those side transverse muscles to lift and sit tall, to create some length through the sides of this body where the spine is on either side, and then we twist. Nice and tall. Good job. Let's release and look forward. One more time. Let's reach that right arm up. And this time we can combine if we can. And so we're twisting, we're gazing, but we're taking that right arm and maybe binding. So you can bind now or not. So these poses are essential. They're essential poses. Breathe deeply. Enjoy your breath. Soften the body to receive the breath. Try to take a moment to pause in between each breath, to slow the journey down, to enjoy the journey of life. Being grateful for that journey can create a lot of positive chemistries inside the body. So when you're lingering in these poses, it's a positive moment for the mind, the body. Good job. Let's release the right leg. And one more time, let's fold forward. Try to push through those heels, lift the belly so that the belly lands first. Not a curl in the upper spine, not the upper thoracic curling. We want to lead with the sternum so that the belly lands, and so on. And you are where you are. The MO is do what you can. Always focus on what it is you can do. You can see there's plenty of limitations within all of us. So focus on what you can do. There's always something you can do. And that is a very magical place to be. It's a very positive place. And it doesn't matter where you are, because it's still positive. Let's bring the feet into Baddha Konasana. So typically we want to have the hips in line with the knees, but we're not staying for a long time. We're just gonna give ourselves a quick little stretch here. You can see I'm lifting my buttocks to my heels, pressing through the outsides of the feet, trying to really give myself a deep stretch here before I drop the hips down. And then taking your feet, lift. So this is hard work, this stuff. Press through your outer feet. Take your knees away from you. Think about lengthening from your hip to along the thigh, out through the knee. Feel the energy travel through your knees. traveling out through those kneecaps. As the thighs get longer and longer, as the knees microscopically move away and drop down. Press your outer right heel into the left. Press, press, press. Now press the outer left heel into the right. Outer left heel. Press, press, press. Observe, so practice observation, just observing the two sides. Try not to make any conclusion about either side. Conclusions are just ways of making boundaries inside the body. Take your knees down and away, lift up. Good job. Let's release. Just cross your ankles. Let's come forward into Uttanasana. So again, the outer feet are parallel, so the toes turn in, not out. And then we roll those inner ankles out to keep the knees nice and open. Inner thighs back. So as we roll those inner ankles out, press through those outer heels and stack your knees above your ankles, stack your hips above your knees, and then lift those kneecaps up. Feel those inner thighs draw back. Just like you had that block in between your thighs, spit the block out. Let your head hang from the middle of your spine. So over time, the body accepts this new place. So just allow the breath to take you there. If you can bring your hands flat, bring your hands flat, and then we start to walk the hands back towards the heels, without bringing the hips behind the heels. So we want the hips right on top of the knees and ankles so that you're not in your ligaments. Ligaments are to limit and they don't stretch. Let's bring the hands to the shins, coming into the flat back. So again, roll those inner ankles out, press hard through the outer heel so the outer shins draw back, outer hips draw back. And we lengthen the spine, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, arms straight, as we lift through that armpit chest. So have those kneecaps lifting. One more time, let's fold forward. Take your hands behind either the heels, the shins. Tip a little further forward if you can. Roll those inner ankles out. Inner thighs back. Hands to the hips, let's come up. Hoo-ah, good job everybody. Let's reach the arms up, look up. press through your heels. So roll those inner ankles out. Press hard through those outer heels. Good. And now we are going to take our buttocks to the wall, feet 2 to 3 feet apart. Feet 2 to 3 feet away from the wall. So have your feet quite a ways from the wall, even further, and then fold forward. You'll enjoy this forward fold. See if you can walk your hands as far forward as you can. Feel your sits bones walk up the wall, kneecaps are lifting. Breathe deeply, everybody. Full body breaths. So you can see it's easier for me to reach the heart forward, and then the belly eventually lands on the thighs as we fold forward. Good. Let's push away from the wall, coming into the forward bend, but this time let's lift the heels and bring the heels together. So lift your heels, bring your heels together. We're going to do several of these, just do what you can. We're bending the knees and then coming up, straightening, bending, so this works all of the leg, from top to bottom. That's all come into a squat now. So a lot of us are very limited in our squat, meaning we cannot bring our heels onto the ground. And therefore, we would typically, to come and sit in a squat, we would take a blanket underneath the heels so that the weight is now in the heel. That's what you want. And then again, we're lifting, doing our best, lifting through the armpit chest. So the weight is in your heels. Yes. Sitting back in the heel. So there's no balancing on the balls of the feet. See if you can lift your toes. Very nicely done. Nicely done. So press through your heels, lift your belly. So feel, drop your hips. The hips drop down, the belly lifts. Very nice. So this is one way to start to create a little opening in the hips. And you can see it looks easy, but it's more challenging than it is. Look up, look up. All right, so here's a little fun here, but before we do it, let's take a forward fold. So just lift up and let your head drop down. Lift your kneecaps again. And now we're going to remove the blanket and just open your feet, again coming into the squat. That's tilt over to the right, drop the right heel down, bring the right arm to the inner right thigh. So the right foot is on the ground. The entire right foot is dropping down. There we go. And now lift up through the sternum. So we use that right arm to open that inner right thigh. You got it. Nice. Lifting up. Eventually that left heel will drop down, but we're just working on each side independent of the other. Good job. All right, let's swing round. So we drop the left heel down and we lift the right one. Just do your best. Everybody's going to be in a slightly different position. Take the left arm to the inner left thigh, open that leg, and then lift up through the chest. Yes, you got it. Lift up through the chest, looking ridiculously happy that you're opening your hips one at a time. Take the elbow to the inner thigh, honey. That's it, yes. So come right down. Drop the elbow down. Can you take the arm down lower? There we go. And then lift up. There we go. Yes. Good. So you're just playing in these poses, looking for your place. It's going to be a different place for every individual. Every human on this planet is going to feel something slightly different. There we go. All right, so let's come back just one more time. Let's bring that blanket. If you can drop your heels right down because you've made so much progress, hallelujah. Otherwise, let's just drop the heels down for a moment. Good. Nice. So see if you can get your underarms where your knees are. That's it, and then lift up. And then eventually we would take the hands down and maybe lift up if we wanted to. That's where we might go. But today we're going to do something different. We're going to drop the knees down and bring our blocks to the wall. Just have your bolster on the left. Let's take 2 blocks to the wall. So hamstring work is incredibly important. It is work that really most of us should do every single day. And if you need a blanket underneath your head, please feel free. Let's have the strap, the white strap here. And the knees are bent as we bring the feet to the bricks. And then as we straighten the legs, the skin of the back of the body drops down and the front lifts up. Let's take the bolster on top of the thighs to help ground those femur bones. And you can feel that as the thighs drop down, this liberates the upper chest. It's amazing. So the more you ground your femur bones and decrease the space behind the back of your thighs, the better. And then we're pressing those heels to the bricks. Feel the outer buttocks, cheeks draw in. Feel those thighs drop down. Let's interlace the palms, reaching the palms overhead. Backs of the thighs down. Let's take the bolster and just slide the bolster over to the left so it's just on the left thigh. Draw the right thigh into the chest as you take your hands around the back of the right shin. So the hands are just really a weight to help to drop the thigh into the chest. And we tuck the right side of the pelvis in and under as we make that left leg longer and longer, taking the back of that left thigh down. Imagine a heavy African elephant sitting on that left thigh. And as you lengthen that left leg, making that left leg longer and longer, that's also at the same time tuck the right side of the pelvis in and under. So we tuck and lengthen. Doing those two actions together in unison, that's that union we call yoga. Breathe deeply to bring the pose alive. So let's move on and take the strap now, take the loop around the ball of the right foot. So we will close that loop and make it so that it's just a little loop. Placing it around the ball of the right foot, taking the hands overhead. So number one, we want to get that right leg straight, and we want to pull that right leg away from us so that both hips are on the same axis and we're not lifting and torquing this right SI area. So we don't want to shorten this right side. We want to have it nice and long and open. Hands overhead. Let's pull that right leg to the wall. And as you pull that leg to the wall, let the right hip be heavy as you reach through the right heel. So pull the leg away and then let that hip be heavy as you reach up through the right heel, intelligizing that right leg. So feel the work in that right leg. Feel the work in the left leg. Let's take the right hand into the loop, or if you would like, take your middle and index finger around the big toe. Reach the left arm out to the T position, and now cut the floor like a knife on that left side. Do not allow the left side to lift as you open the right leg out to the side. Breathe deeply here, pressing through that left heel to ground the left side body. Push through both heels, making both legs longer and longer. Let's slowly lift that right leg back up to center. Keep the right hip heavy as you bring the leg slightly to the left. Breathe deeply here, full body breaths. Good. Let's move that bolster on the left slightly off the thigh. Draw the left thigh in and just bringing the knees together. Let's release the strap, flex your feet, and take your shins as you draw your thighs in towards you. Chin drops into the chest so the back of the neck is long. And we're breathing deeply, working from the center of your buttocks. So you're right on that triangular shelf, the sacrum. Flexing the feet to engage the shins, and this will protect your knees. Very important. You can't walk without your knees. And knees do not stretch. Let's release the shins, keeping the feet flexed. Let's open that right leg out and take a figure 4. So the right ankle is still on top of that left thigh, and we thread the hands through for a figure 4. Drawing the left thigh into us as we draw the right knee away, working from the center of your buttocks. Breathe deeply here, full body breaths. So feel the heaviness on the sacrum. Feel that center buttocks area. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. So there's a little bit of space behind the lower back, even though those lower ribs are dropping down and in. There's a sense of space behind the lower back. Let's release. Take both legs to the wall. Let's roll the bolster over the thighs. And you can just leave the bolster for a moment and press the bolster down. Again, grounding those femur bones as you press your heels into the bricks. Breathe deeply here, full body breaths. So you should feel those outer buttocks cheeks drawing slightly in. Just a sense of them. Let's slide the bolster to the right as you draw the left thigh in towards you. Pressing through that right leg, making the right leg longer and longer as you tuck the left side in and under. So remember, those two actions happen together. You reach and make the right leg long as you tuck the left side of the pelvis. See if you can do them entirely in unison, together, as though it was one action. So the bolster helps us be very conscious of the fact we want to take that right thigh down, decrease the space behind the back of that right thigh. So we imagine something very heavy sitting on that right leg. So heavy that we have to support, like a heavy building or a heavy African elephant. Good. Let's take the strap one more time. Let's this time link it around the ball of the left foot. And it's nice and light and easy because we're not pulling the leg. We're pulling the leg away from us, dropping that hip down. So we want that left side of the spine the same length as the right, down near that pelvic floor area. So it's a nice loose grip. We're not riding the horse. It's easy peasy. As we pull that left hip towards the wall, pressing through that right foot. Breathing deeply, and you may notice that doing the same thing on each side may feel different. Doing what you can. Focus only on what you can do. All other thoughts can just fall away here. Let go of your negative thoughts through that exhale. Let them leave the body, rewriting so that only positive thoughts exist. Only positive thoughts are coming. And then feel grateful for that positive thought. Good job, everybody. Let's take the left hand into the loop, or you can grab your middle and index finger, whichever suits. Open your right arm out to that T position, keeping that right side body nice and heavy. Let's open the left leg out to the side. Breathing deeply here, full body breaths. The heart is open, the pelvic floor is open. The world is your oyster. The world is yours. Good job. Let's take that left leg back through center, and keeping the left hip heavy, take the left foot over to the right, the left leg slightly to the right. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. Breathe to bring space. Breathe to let go of whatever it is you no longer need. Just feel that exhale, release. And then something new comes through the inhale. Enjoy that transition of moving from the old to the new. Breathe deeply to clear the mind of thought, to clear the clutter, wiping the slate clean. So the breath activates that left prefrontal cortex. That's our feel-good center, and the more you breathe, the better you feel. Let's take that left leg back through center and just draw the right thigh in. So we cross the knees. You can just toss your strap. Take your hands to your shins. Flex your feet, so this protects the knee. So flex, 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 lengthening through the Achilles. As you draw the thighs in towards you, working from the center of the buttocks. Chin to the chest. Back of the neck is nice and long. Good. Let's open that left leg out to a figure 4 as we thread the hands through. Deep breaths now, breathing deeply. Try not to have any sort of conversation with the self. Just breathe. Stay entirely present with your breath. Let's uncross that leg, draw the thighs to the chest, take a little rock here, rocking to release any tension in your lower back or hips. And let's take the arms out to the T position, drop your knees to the left. Try to keep your shoulders grounded as you gaze slightly to the right. The chin tracks right where the sternum is, right where that center chest area is. See if you can feel the center chest lift to the chin. Feel the upper thoracic spine opening through the breath, through these positive intentions. Let's straighten that top leg, keeping your knees together. Reach through that right heel. Let's bend that right leg, lifting your knees up through center. Bring the knees over to the right. Try to keep your shoulders grounded. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. So the sternum lifts to the chin. And we gaze slightly to the left. Breathe deeply here, full body breaths. So the breath is reaching your fingers, your toes, all those places of darkness where there's no circulation, no light. That's where you're sending your breath to with a full body breath. Let's straighten that top leg, reach through the heel, keeping your knees together. Let's bend that left leg. Take your left hand over to your right and then slide the left palm past the right to release the upper thoracic. Let's take the left hand to the floor as we slowly come up. We're just coming onto the belly here for a few moments. Not a long time, just a good time. Oh. It looks easy, but it's just not that easy, I know. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Let's bring the feet together, press through the tops of the feet. Lift your belly, lift your head. So the forearms should be parallel, and then you press down through that inner wrist to release the shoulders. Draw the backs of those forearms straight back, squeeze your inner shoulder blades together, and then draw the outer shoulder blades back. Lift your head. Press through the tops of the feet so the knees are lifting. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. Let's bring the right arm forward. Slide your left knee forward. As you bend your right leg, take your left hand to your right foot. And now try and take your heel to your buttocks as you tilt in. Pressing down through the top of that right thigh. Think of that right thigh as getting longer from the hip, along that thigh, out through the knee. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. So if the quadricep muscles are tight, this is a great stretch. And then to further this, we roll towards the back body, pressing down to the top of that right thigh. You can take your hand underneath your head or use a blanket. As you straighten that left leg, so you bring your right foot to the floor, straightening the left leg, starting to walk that left foot to the right hand. You can always use a strap or just linger here, but you're lifting your sternum up. Breathing deeply, pressing down through that right thigh, lifting the sternum, reaching through that left heel. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. Let's slowly release that right foot, bringing your knees together to protect the lower back. Let's come back onto the belly here. One more time. Let's bring the elbows underneath the shoulders and bring your feet together. So we create this counter stretch by drawing the backs of the forearms back, pressing through the elbows, pressing through the tops of the feet so the kneecaps lift. This removes the memory of the twist. Try to bring your feet a little closer together. Yeah, good. Yes, good. Good. Press down through the inner wrists, spread your hands, look ridiculously happy. Don't use your facial muscles, they won't help. Let's slide the left arm forward, slide your right knee forward, bend your left leg as you catch your right hand to your left foot. Heel to the buttocks. Lengthening the left thigh from the hip to the knee. Breathe deeply here, full body breaths. Let's roll towards the back body, pressing down through the top of that left thigh to bring the left foot to the floor. And then do what works best for you here. You could either walk the right foot to the left hand, you can catch a strap, but we're lifting the chest. This is a very deep stretch, so no sudden movements. Pressing down through that left thigh, lift the chest, lift the sternum to the chin. Breathe deeply, enjoy your breath here. Good job, everybody. All right. We're coming to a close here. Let's release the right hand. Bring your knees together. And now let's come on to the back. Let's one more time. Take it supine Tadasana as we interlace the palms. Reaching the palms overhead. Let's push through the heels. Good. And now we're going to release. Take your blanket underneath the back of your head. If you like, bring a bolster underneath the back of your thighs. And if you can reach your bricks, you can always grab your bricks and bring your bricks like so. Take a moment and tuck the shoulders in and under. And just lay flat now. Let your eyes close. Let your eyelids be heavy. Let your eyes fall back and down. Softening now through the innermost corner of the eyes. Softening your cheeks. Relax your jaw. And now soften the innermost corner of the ear. This is where attention begins in the body. So softening the innermost corner of your ear. Relax your lips so that the tongue floats to the roof of the mouth. Let your shoulders and arms be heavy. Let your hips and legs relax and release. Allowing the mind to be still now with the body. slowly going to come back to the breath as we bring our hands to the belly. Deepening your next inhale. Deepening that next exhale, just breathing life back to the body, back to the soul. And then drawing your thighs to your chest and taking a little rock as you come over to one side. And then just come and make your way up into an easy seated position. Nicely done. Let's reach the arms up, look up to feel the length. Let's bring the hands to prayer on the exhale and take a moment now and thank yourself for your focus and dedication to bringing something new and letting go of something you no longer need. Just leaving it here on the mat. Thank you. Namaste. Well done. Good job. It's tea time. Yoga tea time.